สวัสดีครับ Good morning and thank you for joining us on Newsline. We're broadcasting live on NBT Radio Thailand FM 88 and on NBT World. Today is Wednesday, October 29th, 2014 and you're with me, Suraphan Lautharanarit. Welcome to today's segment of Thailand Moves Forward. Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has instructed the National Reform Council, or NRC, to finalize details of the energy reform plan within a couple of months, while reaffirming that the new petroleum concessions will not cover any disputed border areas. Following the weekly cabinet meeting, General Prayut disclosed that he had put the task of drawing up the energy reform plan under the responsibility of the NRC, with a time frame of 2 months. Once finished, he said the plan would be used to determine the new structure of domestic energy prices based on the global market mechanism. On this occasion, the Ministry of Energy clarified to the Cabinet regarding the 21st round of petroleum exploration concessions, which was facing heavy opposition from civil groups. General Prayut cited the ministry as confirming that none of the 29 exploration fields was located in the disputed zone on the Thai-Cambodian maritime border. Moreover, the Premier stated that he was planning to discuss with related officials in Cambodia during his visit to the country at the end of this month about energy sources within the overlapping maritime area. He insisted that the talk would be conducted in an open manner and would revolve only around energy-related issues rather than border issues. The Prime Minister said the two countries' mutual benefits would be placed as top priority. Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has invited Thais and foreigners to attend two major cultural events to take place in Bangkok in November, saying both of them represent the beauty and history of the nation. One of the events is the Khon mass dance in the episode of the Battle of Intarashit, the Nagabat, while the other event is the Harmony World Puppet Carnival 2014. The Prime Minister made his call after the organizers of both shows visited him at the government house to promote their respective events. The Prime Minister commented on the occasion that both Khon and puppetry are beautiful arts that reflect national history and culture that would help Thailand move forward. He called on Thais to be proud of their culture and urged the younger generation to conserve it. The Harmony World Puppet Carnival is to be held at the National Theatre, with special stages to be put up around the Ratanakosin Island from November 1st to 10th. More than 50 Thai puppet troupes will show off their puppets and techniques handed down from the Sukhothai period. Puppet troupes from over 80 countries will also participate in the carnival. A vice president of the National Legislative Assembly, or NLA, revealed that almost a dozen members of the legislature already applied to sit on the Constitutional Drafting Committee. NLA Second Vice President Pirasak Pawjit said that at least 11 NLA members already stated their intention to be considered as representatives to the Constitutional Drafting Committee. The NLA is to submit 5 names to sit on the soon-to-be-set-up committee. Mr. Pirasak said that the eligible NLA representatives must possess no qualifications forbidden by the Provisional Constitution, while being knowledgeable about public laws and experienced in politics and public administration. He added that those who have applied to join the charter drafting team should be aware about a 2-year political ban if they are selected to take any of the 5 vacancies. The NLA Second Vice President expects the selection process to be concluded by Thursday. A number of high-ranking civil servants in various ministries have been assigned by the Cabinet to their new positions in the latest meeting. According to Deputy Government Spokesperson Sansern Kaew-Kamneut, the Cabinet considered many appointments and transfers of civil servants proposed by their respective ministries. Approval was given to the Energy Ministry's proposal to promote Deputy Director General of the Department of Mineral Fuels, Pongtip Silapasad, as the new Director General. Deputy Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Justice, Suwana Suwanajuta, was named the new Chief of the Department of Special Investigation, or DSI, while Inspector General Virayut Sukjaran was approved as Director General of the Department of Juvenile Observation and Protection. As for the Tourism and Sports Ministry, Assistant Permanent Secretary Nare Lauvichaya was appointed the new Deputy Permanent Secretary. 2 senior officials were also named Inspectors General. Meanwhile, 4 new Inspectors General were appointed for the Ministry of Interior. Another 18 officials were also given the governor posts in such provinces as Trat, Phetchabun, Nong Khai, Sukhothai, Pattani, Yala, and Krabi. The Ministry of Commerce has expressed satisfaction with the outcome of the 3rd round of bidding for over 200,000 tons of rice from the government stockpile. After receiving approval from the Rice Policy and Management Committee, the Commerce Ministry has opened the 3rd rice auction of the year, with a total of 207,000 tons put up for grabs. The lot comprised 76,000 tons of white rice with 5% moisture content and 131,000 tons of broken rice. At the end of the bidding process, 18 out of 37 bidders were declared winners, securing a combined 203,000 tons of the rice. The prices offered for the white rice ranged from 10,700 to 12,180 baht a ton, while the broken rice sold for 7,000 to 8,660 baht a ton. Director General of the Department of Foreign Trade, Duangporn Rodpaya, said the results were satisfactory, given the high turnout of participants and the high prices offered. The department will continue to seek permission from the Rice Policy and Management Committee to arrange more auctions in the future. The National Economic and Social Development Board, or NESDB, asserted that the Thai economy is not in a stagnant state, but is slowly recovering. NESDB Secretary General Akom Termpithiyapaisit said at a business forum that the GDP growth of 2014 could reach 1.5 to 2% if exports can recover during the year's remaining period. He said the NESDB will revise its 2014 GDP growth forecast again on November 17th, but the 2015 growth projection remains the same at 3.5 to 4.5%. Mr. Akom, who is also the Deputy Minister of Transport, said infrastructure investments will play a prime role in stimulating the economy and in accommodating the ASEAN economic community. Emphasis is being placed on rail and water transport. Railways will be linked up with ports to increase efficiency in logistics and thereby cut costs. Thai exports in September expanded by 3.19% compared to the same period last year to stand at $19.9 billion, according to the Ministry of Commerce. Director General of the Department of International Trade Promotion, Nantawan Sakuntanak, said despite the export growth, there was an import increase of 14.4%, worth $21.7 billion compared to the same period last year, resulting in a trade deficit of $1.8 billion. From January to September 2014, Thailand's export value was $170.5 billion, decreasing by 0.85% compared to the same period last year. The import value was 172 billion US dollars, decreasing by 10%. The country still had a trade deficit of 1.5 billion US dollars. The Bangkok Metropolitan Administration, or BMA, is banning the sale and lighting of flying lanterns near tall buildings, historic sites, palaces, major temples, and airports during the Loi Krathong festival. Mr. Wanlop Suwandi, chief advisor to the Bangkok governor, explained that in addition to flying lanterns, fireworks will also be banned from sites where Loi Krathong festivities will be hosted by the City Hall. These sites include many public parks in the capital city and the vicinity of the Rama 8 Bridge. According to the BMA, there are only 6 fireworks sellers in Bangkok who have authorization to sell their products. BMA officials will be monitoring against unauthorized sellers during the Loi Krathong period. Mr. Wanlop revealed that the City Hall's law enforcement officials will also be stationed at all piers along the Chao Phraya River on the night of Loi Krathong to maintain safety. Medical personnel will also be deployed at various sites. The temperature at Thailand's highest peak, Doi Inthanon, has plummeted to 8 degrees Celsius due to the early onset of winter this year. According to Doi Inthanon National Park officers, the mercury continues to drop as the weeks pass by. The meteorological department has said a new cold front from China will prevail over the country's upper parts, bringing the average temperature down even further. Thick fog is forecast to blanket downtown and mountainous areas. Motorists are urged to take extra precaution while traveling in the province. According to reports, nearly 30,000 tourists have in the past week arrived in Chiang Mai to experience the cold weather and to view the thickening fog. Measures will be tightened to ensure tourist safety. This Friday is Halloween, which has been more popular in Thailand in recent years for kids, and the Make-A-Wish Foundation Thailand organized a fun Halloween event in Bangkok over the weekend for kids to celebrate. NBT World's Joel Gershon went to check it out and to learn more about Make-A-Wish Thailand's efforts in helping children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Halloween has become an internationally celebrated event, and in recent years in Thailand, you can find more kids enjoying dressing up in costume, trick-or-treating, and visiting haunted attractions with spooky themes. In preparation for Halloween, which is upcoming on Friday, there was a special Halloween event this past weekend at Benja Siri Park in Bangkok, where kids had a great time playing games, riding ponies, taking part in a costume fashion show, and enjoying the entertainment put on by other kids. This was a very special event for another reason too, as it was put on by Make-A-Wish Foundation Thailand, which is a very special organization that grants the wishes of children diagnosed with life-threatening medical conditions. Here's Mickey Meksawan, the managing director, explaining what Make-A-Wish Thailand does in more detail.
So Make-A-Wish Thailand is part of Make-A-Wish International. There are about 52 countries around the world that Make-A-Wish has offices. In Thailand, we started about 3 years ago. There are 4 different types of wishes that we grant for children. Basically, either want to be something, or you want to meet someone, you want to have something, or you want to go somewhere. So for example, you want to be a doctor, or you want to have a computer, or you want to go to the sea, or you want to meet a celebrity. We want to raise more awareness within Thailand. So the event really is to give back happiness to all the children, especially those that may be somewhat disadvantaged. We have about 200 children that we invite from different places. We have about 100 children from local public school around the park. And we have another 100 children from orphan houses. And we also invite some of our patient children from the children's hospital that is our partner to come and also enjoy the event.
Since Halloween is widely celebrated in Western countries, this event in Benjaseri Park also gave foreign families who live in Bangkok a chance to have some fun. Like this family, dressed like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I came out to celebrate Halloween as a family and get together and have a fun day out on a Saturday.
Are you having fun today?
Yes.
James, what are you excited about?
I'm excited about Halloween.
So happy Halloween, everyone. Hope it's not too scary for you.
And that brings us to the end of today's edition of Thailand Moves Forward. Before we take a quick break, let's have a look at the exchange rates and commodity prices.
To maintain a strong nation, Thailand is promoting 12 core values for the good of the people. First among them, to uphold the three pillars, the nation, religion, and the monarchy.
How could you do that to me? Stop it!
Huh?
Don't you get it? I don't need you anymore. Enough! We're through. There's someone else in my life.
Say no to the past. Bring your own bag. Say no to plastic.
Welcome back to Newsline, and it's time now for ASEAN and beyond. Security was tight outside the Palace of Justice in Putrajaya, Malaysia yesterday, as the country's top court began hearing a final appeal from opposition leader Anwar Ibrahim to set aside his conviction and 5-year jail term for sodomy. In March of this year, Anwar was sentenced to 5 years jail by the Court of Appeal after the court overturned an earlier acquittal and found him guilty of sodomizing his former aide, Saiful Bukhari Aslan, in 2008. Sodomy is illegal in Malaysia. A 5-member panel led by Chief Justice Arifin Zakaria will hear submissions from Anwar's defense team of 14 lawyers, led by former federal court judge Gopal Siram. While some news reports said a ruling could come as early as today, the lead prosecutor, however, expressed his belief that the process would not be concluded that soon. And now let's take a look at what's happening elsewhere in the world. An unmanned Antares rocket exploded seconds after liftoff from a commercial launch pad in Virginia on Tuesday, a NASA TV broadcast showed. The 14-story rocket, built and launched by Orbital Sciences Corp., bolted off a seaside launch pad at the Wallops Flight Facility at 6:22 p.m. Eastern Time. However, it exploded seconds later. The cause of the accident was not immediately available. Tech giant Google is moving far from its web search roots now is developing a particle size search for cancer and other diseases. Andrew Conrad, the head of life sciences inside the company's Google X research lab, made the revelation at a conference in Southern California, broadcast on the website of the Wall Street Journal. He revealed that the company is inventing a pill that is loaded with billions of nanoparticles, which could then be programmed to report and track what is going on inside a human body. He said the detection process involved a patient swallowing a pill with the nanoparticles and the person decorating them with antibodies or molecules that detect other molecules. Conrad said this will give doctors the chance to get inside the body and explore its physiology specific to each patient. A menacing river of molten lava that bubbled over a road and overran a cemetery on its path toward a village on Hawaii's Big Island crossed onto a residential property on Tuesday, where it threatened to consume its first home. The slow-moving lava from the continuously erupting Kilauea volcano has been advancing on the town of Pahoa for weeks, with officials warning repeatedly it is hot enough to incinerate any homes, roads, and businesses in its path. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, molten lava is hotter than 900 degrees Celsius. Residents living in the projected path of the lava, whose leading edge is 82 meters wide, have been urged to prepare for evacuation, and many have slowly emptied their homes of prized possessions as the lava approaches. Authorities have not allowed residents to approach the leading edge, but people have taken helicopter tours to watch the slow-moving disaster. U.S. Envoy Samantha Power yesterday said Liberia is beginning to see results from international help to fight Ebola, with more safe burials and laboratory testing times cut from 5 days to 5 hours in one remote area, which then frees treatment beds. Ms. Power, the U.S. ambassador to the United Nations and a member of President Barack Obama's cabinet, arrived in Liberia yesterday after visiting Guinea and Sierra Leone to assess what more the world could do to help Ebola-stricken West Africa. The United States has set up a mobile laboratory and an Ebola treatment unit in Bong County, about 200 kilometers east of Monrovia. According to the officer in charge of the laboratory, since the lab became operational 3 weeks ago, it had tested some 280 samples, and in that time the positive rate had dropped to a third from half. The figure showed an increase in awareness among Liberians of the symptoms of Ebola, which can be mistaken for malaria. Testing times had decreased to 5 hours from 5 days because samples no longer had to be transported to Monrovia. And that's all for today's edition of Newsline. For any comments or suggestions, please feel free to email us at newsline.nbt@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook or check out our website at thainews.prd.go.th/newsing. And for now, we're going to say goodbye with some great companionship between a dog and a goose in Ratchaburi. I'm Suraphal Lautharanarit. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day. สวัสดีครับ